Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bands with Laurencia on Didi Lauren TV, a channel that celebrates ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So please subscribe, like, share, and also click on that notification bell to get notified anytime I post new content. So for today's episode, I want to talk about mental health. And this topic was made very important last week when Nollywood actress Genevieve Naji posted on her social media page saying that mental health is more spiritual than physical and people should rededicate their life to God and get rebaptized. Basically, she's saying that if you're suffering from any form of mental health, you should rededicate your life to God and also get rebaptized. A lot of people were in support of that statement. They said that yes, they agree that mental health is more spiritual than physical and people should always, rededicate their life to God and seek the face of God to get relief for most of their mental health challenges. Some other people argue that Genevieve Naji is not qualified to give an opinion on mental health because she is just an Hollywood actress. She is not a qualified psychologist or a qualified psychiatrist to even make such an opinion, especially because she has over 8 point something million followers on Instagram. So that would kind of influence a lot of people, especially in Africa, especially in Nigeria, whereby people don't even take mental health seriously, and the first thing they do is to turn to God or turn to pastors to pray for their children or their loved ones suffering from mental health instead of taking them to the hospital to get them checked out. So they argue that she is not qualified to give such an opinion, knowing that she has a massive following and knowing that most of her target audience are Africans and Nigerians who are already more spiritual than even physical. So that will kind of validate whatever they are going through. So these were some people. Some other people were kind of neutral about it. They said that everybody is entitled to their opinion. If you're sick and somebody is telling you not to go to the hospital and you yourself know that you're not feeling fine and you choose to believe somebody that is telling you not to go to the hospital, then the blame is on you. For me, I think mental health is a very important topic, especially just the world is just coming out from the pandemic. Everybody has been affected one way or the other. So mental health has to do with your emotional, physical, psychological, and even social well-being. That can affect your mental health. Even if we've not experienced it all our lives, I can guarantee you that during this pandemic, somebody has suffered some form of emotional challenge, somebody has suffered some form of social interactions, not being able to talk to people the way they used to, or go out on a weekly or weekend basis the way they used to. So one way or the other, somebody has suffered. Or economically, most of the businesses have been shut down, so somebody has suffered one way or the other. So the reality of it is we all are on the mental health spectrum. You can be very healthy, you can be coping, you can be struggling, or you can really be unwell. I think in terms of Africa, or in terms of the interpretation regarding Genevieve Naji's post, people were mostly interpreting it based on people that are unwell. Also have people that are coping with life. Maybe they are facing some kind of relationship challenges. Maybe they are facing job challenges. They are still in their jobs, they are still in the relationship, but they are facing different level of challenges, but they are trying to cope with that. We also have people on that level. These are all mental health challenges. Then we have people that are struggling. Maybe these are people that finally they've lost their job, their relationship have ended, maybe they are in bereavement, they lost somebody very close to them or a loved one. something really happened to them and they are struggling, to get back into their Zen mode and have a healthy mental health. So these are also people on the spectrum of mental health. Then you can have people that are actually unwell. They have had some traumatic experience. Probably something drove them over the edge, and now these people need to be medicated to live a normal life. So there are different level of mental health, state of mental health, and most times we don't even notice all these things until somebody becomes unwell. So we need to make it a point of duty to manage our mental health. And one of the ways that we can manage it is being very spiritual. I know a lot of people think being spiritual means being religious. So spirituality is understanding who you are as a person, finding ways to better yourself, finding purpose in life. And this purpose can be recreational activities, it can be your job, it can be something you love doing outside your job, and finding fulfillment in these things. It can be a relationship that's giving you fulfillment, it can be your connection with people, your network. These are a lot of things that you can do as a spiritual person to keep your mind and body healthy. In terms of religion is understanding your faith, having a higher power in your faith, and knowing that you have a religion. It can be Muslim, it can be Christianity, it can be traditional religion. If you find fulfillment in those things and you rededicate your life to God, whichever God you serve, and that gives you purpose, that gives you fulfillment, that can also help you balance your mental health. People don't like talking about mental health, especially when they just think that anybody suffering from mental health, they're kind of stigmatized. They think that something is wrong with them spiritually and they need help. So people always stigmatize people with mental health. But you can have a perfectly normal individual suffer from mental health problems. There was this lady who got married. Her wedding day was one of the happiest day of her life. She had children. According to her, she had a very perfect family home until the husband one day up and left. So the family rallied around, tried to understand what the problem was. She was calling her in-laws. They were trying to get him to even explain what the problem was, but he never said anything. He just up and left. And when she was trying to cope with all these things, she was going to church, she was praying, she went to different churches, she went to different deliverance, she went to different mountains, she paid a lot of pastors for prayers and deliverance, she sowed a lot of seed, but nothing worked. This affected the woman. She was trying to cope with the kids. She was trying to cope with the financial burden that this whole family has been thrown into because of her husband exit from the family. She was trying to cope with her own just going to work and balancing her own mental health. At the end of the day, she started struggling when the bills were not being paid. She had to get more job. Her kids were not well looked after. And before you know what was going on, social care was involved, and some of her kids were taken from her. Now she's in the psychiatric ward. She's been medicated. Her children are no longer with her. The husband has married another woman, and you look at this whole thing, this is a perfectly healthy human being. This is a perfectly working lady with, happy family, happy children, until something, disrupted that balance that she had. And she couldn't cope. She was trying to cope. She started struggling and she became unwell, and ultimately she's in the mental health institution, medicated, and she doesn't even recognize her children while the man is living his life. So I think for me, spirituality is even more important than religion, because religion is your faith. You can believe in something, and even the Bible said that faith without work is dead. So the work that you need to put in is the spiritual aspect of it. Spirituality is the aspect that you need to find purpose in life. Okay, your initial purpose was family, getting married, having a family, and living happily ever after. If that is no longer serving you, if something happened to disrupt that balance, it is left for you to create another balance, to create another purpose. Because if she had created another balance apart from the ones that she initially had and created a purpose, maybe learn something, learn a new skill, start doing yoga, start exercising. There are so many things you can do that would take away your mind away. It's not about going to church, because if you're going to church, you're praying for that person to change. But the reality of it is, most times they don't change. So you need to find another balance away from whatever is troubling you. Find a new balance, find a new purpose, re-engage with yourself, re-engage with your core, re-engage with whatever makes you happy, and that can take you from, unwell to struggling, and from struggling can take you back to coping until you find a healthy mental health balance. And this is why people always say, protect your mental health. If something is going to disrupt your zen, if something is going to disrupt your balance, take care of it. Now more than ever, everybody should look after their mental health. Everybody should find purpose in life. Everybody should understand that you can always create another center. If this center, something goes wrong in this center, you can always create another center to give you another balance. So let us all take care of our mental health. It's not about praying. It's not all about fasting. It's not all about sowing seed. It's not all about asking your pastors to pray for you. You also can do things for yourself. You also can find a way to create a balance for yourself. But hey, if going to church is that balance, if going to church brings you that fulfillment, hold on to it. It's all about finding that balance. It's all about going back to your core to understand who you are and understand what you can take. Mental health is all about, what can I take? What will affect me? If this would affect me, then you have that decision to make. You have a choice to make. The reason why I think that this topic is more important at this present time than any other time is because of social media. Social media has, made a lot of people become unwell. Not necessarily coping and struggling. I mean, in the world we live in right now, everybody is literally coping. We're trying to cope with one thing or the other. So even within having a good mental health state, there are still things that people are coping with. There are still things that people are struggling with. So at some point in time, even those who have mental health issues, those who are actually medicated and in psychiatric ward, they also have good times. They also have times they are coping. They also have times that they are struggling, and times that, they know that, okay, this is why this person is in this ward. So it is left for us to manage our mental health, to stay away from things that could disrupt our balance. And even if something has disrupted the balance that we created, we should be spiritual enough to create another balance, to create another, good space or good mental state that we can be in and flourish as, a functioning individual. Not individuals without problem, but functioning. As long as you're functioning and you're coping and you have, a good mental health balance or good awareness or good understanding of things that can affect you and staying away from certain things that would tip you over the edge, we are going to be happy. It is a good topic. It is a good topic that we need to reflect on. It is a good topic that we need to think about and not shy away from mental health, because we all have mental health problems. You see somebody say that they snapped. That is mental health. Any reason we are coping either financially or emotionally or struggling with some kind of challenges, it is very good to understand that you can always create a balance even in chaos that could bring you back to a very good place, or a coping place, and thereby walk your way through to a good mental health place. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. This is my view on mental health. I want to know your view. I want to know your opinion. The whole thing that started this topic is Genevieve Naji saying that mental health is more spiritual than physical, and that people should rededicate their life to God and people should get rebaptized. Some people took it literally, meaning that everybody should go back to church, everybody should go to pastors for prayers. Spirituality and religion are two different things. You can be very spiritual and not be religious. You can be very religious and not be spiritual. So this is my own understanding on the topic. I am happy to hear your views. I am happy to hear your opinion. Please leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know, do you believe that mental health is more spiritual than physical? Do you believe that the only solution for mental health is rededicating your life to God and getting rebaptized? Or do you believe that mental health can be social, it can be economical, it can be mental, it can be even physical challenges can result in mental health issues? And most times it's just higher expectations that we have, expectations that we've built up, and these affect us mentally. These affect our mental state. So please leave me a comment in the comment section. I am happy to read your comments. I am happy to read your views. And this is my opinion. Let me hear your own opinion. So thank you very much for watching today's episode, and see you same time next week. Bye-bye.